Lost in space and time for over 10,000 years, on a mission they were never meant to return from. They have returned from the horrible secrets of space. They are the Comic Shop.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to The Comic Shop Does a Podcast with me, Aaron Z. Lee, graduate of Alfred E. Newman University.
I am Evan Coy, a very washed out Evan Coy because this camera is being funny. And I also am a victim of Wendy's. And we're here with our special guest star,
There he is in all his
That
glory.
on my screen.
Comic Code approved, authority approved, Martin A. Kinney.
Wholesome.
Self-policed, so you don't have to.
Wow.
Hi. Hello. everybody.
Oh, it's all right. It's too late. We cut away from you because you weren't saying anything.
Okay.
Aaron, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Making my way through the fourth week of school, being back.
Is it 4 weeks
Teaching.
already?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Wow, that is
yeah,
crazy.
5 reports are coming out next week. And guess who's on top of all the grades? It's me. I've
Aaron
never
Z.
graded.
Lee.
I've never graded faster. I've never graded better. I've never been this good before. I've been on top of my game.
Well, if I didn't refuse to ever be proud of you, I'd be proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm
Your refusal means a lot to me.
I'm proud of your refusal.
Thank you.
Martin, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm all excited. Got some pink lemonade.
Oh, we do have some.
Ooh.
It's pink lemonade.
baby.
Pink lemonade
Week,
Pink
so I got
lemonade
my
week here
pink
at the
lemonade.
store. We're gonna go
Sponsored.
Yep.
Not sponsored.
pink lemonade. Why is this camera so terrible today?
It really is horrible.
It's bad.
Oh, there you go. Now you look better.
No, you don't. We don't.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, like we're not washed out anymore. Like we can.
Yeah,
you
you're
can
like
see
almost-
all the.
You're just really red this time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
All right.
Like a Tim Bradstreet painting.
Pink lemonade, Martin. Yeah, well, the camera's god awful.
But Martin's camera's really
Martin's
good.
camera's
I look
perfect.
great,
Yeah.
guys. I'm like,
So
I'm
it's
just staring off at
It's
my,
pink lemonade week here. Let's throw a little pink lemonade under the dock cam. I don't want to give too much away, but I think we could flip through a page or two of this, right?
Yeah, the long-awaited Nick Cognetti debut
Wait,
at
what?
Oni Comics.
comic. I thought we were pink lemonade, the beverage.
Oh, well, let's pass out some pink lemonade beverage.
What's the comic thing?
It's the reason you have the beverage.
There's
No, I had
actually-
the beverage
there's-
because it's pink
All
lemonade.
right, let's go back to Pink Lemonade, the comic.
Look at this beautiful glass here with these characters in it. Just so nice. Look at that slick drawn by Nick Cognetti.
Can we? Yeah, we got beverage service today. This is great.
Ooh, I just don't want to. I hope I don't spill it.
Well, if you do, it's on pink lemonade, so you can't actually do anything.
Oh, look at this interior cover. Yeah, look how sharp this inside thing here is. That's so much fun. Proudly presenting Pink Lemonade by Nick Cognetti, Francois Vignault, and Nick Cognetti doing lettering, designed by Sarah Rockwell, edited by Zach Soto. Cover A by Nick Cognetti, cover B by Shaky Kane,
Shaky Kane.
cover C also by Nick Cognetti, and cover D by Jamie McKelvey.
Martin, cheers.
Cheers.
To the
To Pink
To
Lemonade.
the Pink Lemonade.
Very
Yeah, that's good
delicious.
stuff.
Very delicious.
tastes
Newman's
really-
Own,
tastes
available
really pink.
at Big M. Only, exclusively.
Big M. Is that the only Big M remaining?
Yes, we'll say yes. No fact
Yes,
checks.
yes,
No
it's the
fact
only
checks,
Big
no.
M remaining here in Oswego, New York. Big M, I assume, for market, which is funny because it's it's a smaller neighborhood market, but it's a larger, smaller neighborhood market. Anyway,
Pink Lemonade.
look at this. We're opening it right up to like some Jack Kirby goodness. You can feel the mic all red. You can feel the Steve Rude. Like there's some good vibes going on here. And you got a dog with a little jetpack on. Come on. This needs to be a top 10 book.
A jetpack for every animal, like I always say.
Yes. A jetpack for every animal. Vote Evan Coy 2024. Oh, yeah. Look at these colors. We got pink. We got yellow. And pink and yellow. And pink and yellow. It's everywhere you want it to be. The lettering, it looks souped up from that original version. Maybe we'll do a side-by-side at some point. Like every panel looks so great. Like this little with this like mysterious person popping up. That could be a B-movie poster right there. That thing is beautiful.
I do like Nick's sound effects.
Yeah, he does an excellent job. Look at this sunset with the. I wonder if the colors are souped up a little bit too. I got to go back and do a comparison later on. But
Because this was a self-published book initially.
I think it.
Oh, no, it was a
did have a
different-
publisher.
it was-
What was
did-
it? It's Alive or something like that.
Yes, I stand corrected.
But one of the things I love about this,
That right? See that again. It drives me crazy that that's a right-hand page. That I want that to be a page turn and to see that. I want that to be a left-handed page, but it's beautiful.
and the thing I like about this a lot, at least in the first issue, is it's very like comics referential,
Yes.
and it does it in a way that's so fun that I think like people could get into, kids could potentially get into. It's not steeped in decades and decades of stuff, but it references that culture, but it doesn't dive wholly into it. But anyway, but without giving away too much, look at this. It's just some wholesome fun. They're all on the couch watching their TV, watching OJ Bot. Yeah, you got to get out and buy this book.
It's beautiful.
Where can you buy it?
At the comic shop.
Yeah, 112 East Bridge Street,
the comic shop.
Yeah, I can't recommend Pink Lemonade enough. There needs to be more comics like this out in the world.
Oh, back to our washed-out Talking Heads camera. God,
Yeah, how did
dang.
we get, if we had it focused on something else, and now you can see all the glorious pores on my face.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So many pores.
We'll just keep it washed out
Wow, that's-
like a makeup commercial.
Oh, look at that.
Word up.
Oh, it's worse. Okay.
Sponsored by Revlon.
So we're not here to talk. Well, we were just talking about Pink Lemonade. I guess we are here to talk about Pink Lemonade today. And again, cheers to everyone. Pink Lemonade. Nick Cognetti, congratulations. Great
Yes,
book.
congrats.
We're very happy for you. We're actually here to talk about EC Comics today. Oh, I'm not on the audio here. Let me get on microphone. I'm being
Get on the mic.
mic on the mic.
Check one.
My mic sounds nice.
Check one.
My mic sounds. It sounds okay.
It sounds passable.
We're here today to talk about EC Comics.
This is going to be entertaining.
And it's entertaining comic. Well, actually, it's educational comics, right?
No, entertaining.
Is that what?
Yep. But they started as a kids and educational.
Wait, I thought
books.
you said ET Comics.
No,
ET Comics.
Those phone tones.
Oh.
Oh, is that why you put your hood on?
Yes.
I got it. Step behind you, but I got it.
Jokes.
Funny. Jokes.
So one of the reasons we've been doing this is we got all these beautiful EC reprints that have been coming in
Ooh
lately
la la.
through Dark Horse. And Martin,
Ooh, some Jenny Craig,
when
baby.
was the last time you saw EC reprints like this cheap? Was there?
Never.
That's my.
It's basically been like $50 to $100 hardcover type material that it's been licensed through several companies,
Who else has licensed it?
other companies.
Do we not know?
I don't know. It's not like Marvel or DC or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's been like over the years. It's been like the
Yep.
80s. Was it the 80s when the hardcover stuff came out before it got recollected?
Probably. Like I said, it's been
1 week.
Hmm?
It's been.
Oh, 1 week.
Sorry.
They're
Somebody.
unclothed ladies. Yes, sorry. Got it.
We've been getting in these maybe once a month. We've been getting an EC book once every 6 weeks.
Yeah, thereabouts. I'd say from the different lines, from the horror, the crime, the sci-fi. Is there a medical? I don't.
There was a
Yeah,
medical
yeah.
because I remember having the conversation about the medical one because we're like, well, people want the crime, people want the horror, and everybody wanted the medical one too, which was kind of funny. So, and these are-
Medical?
yeah.
Fair enough.
Maybe you didn't get that one, Aaron.
Prove it to me now.
Yeah, EC Comics, kind of its own unique thing that like there's certainly. I mean, I guess there's a house vibe for Marvel, house style for Marvel, the house style for DC, but this stuff has a very distinct style to it that I'm curious as to how they found these artists or whatever. Or if it was just a confluence of people just doing weird personal, I don't know, odd. It's just a good style, different style. So EC originally stood for educational comics. I'm gonna correct you. The pre-trend titles by MC Gaines and his son William Gaines took over after the family business of father's death were things like picture stories from the Bible, the Happy Hula Hands, Fat and Slat. Everybody loved Fat and Slat. That was one of my favorites, right?
How could you forget about that?
Fat and Slat. Animal Fables, Dandy Comics.
You are correct. Educational comics turned into entertaining comics.
Did you just say I was correct?
Yep, I did a fact check.
Oh, boy. We don't do that on the
Well,
show.
I know.
what we learned is that you both were right.
Tiny Tot Comics.
Such an Aaron thing to say.
Picture stories from American history. Picture stories from world history.
Ooh, everybody loves little world history.
Stories from science.
Science.
Yes. Blackstone, the magician detective fights crime. Tell me that's not a great title. Tell me Aaron isn't interested in
Whoa,
that.
look at that squid thing. And he's like chained up. Oh, that's good stuff.
Chained up squid tentacles.
A moon, a girl, romance.
Ooh, I bet these are public domain.
Moon Girl and the Prince. I'm gonna burp.
Okay.
Moon Girl
The-
and the
the
Prince
lemonade.
gonna burp.
Moon Girl, just Moon Girl.
Moon Girl fights crime, gonna burp.
Crime Patrol.
Not Doom Patrol. Crime Patrol.
Gunfighter, thrilling stories of the Wild West.
So thrilling.
Excellent.
Um,
Some
international.
of the line art on these old covers is great.
Yeah, I know. Nobody can see him either. This is great. Let's go back to the document camera. We're just looking at pictures that no one else can see.
Looking at black and white photocopies of art, not this
I can't even
beautiful
see
color,
it. It's
full
so-
color book.
Saddle Justice, Saddle Romances, War and Crime. Those were kind of the first titles of EC. Yes,
I
Martin.
don't think the code would approve of the one saddle one.
Saddle Romances.
Yeah.
It's just cowboy on cowboy action. This is pre-code, not
Well,
pre-code.
you know those boomers, they were all about the cowboy on cowboy action.
Actually, Martin, talk to us.
Not code approved.
Talk about the code, the comics code, and how EC Comics got around that. Because
EC didn't get around it. They got steamrolled.
Yeah.
Mad Magazine specifically, they had switched over to magazine format from comic, and because it was a magazine, it was not under the jurisdiction of the comic code. So
I completely misunderstood when you were telling
Yeah.
me earlier that
Yes, you did.
that okay. All right, very good.
yeah, I'm not sure what would have happened had the horror and crime comics tried to do the magazine format, but.
So then tell us a little bit about the conflict between the comics code and EC Comics.
Well, the comic code didn't exist then. That was formulated after the what did they call this? Was it actually the Wortham hearings? There was a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I'm not sure what he would be. No fact check. Is it William Wortham? I believe.
Frederick
Frederick
Wortham.
I should have my real screen up.
F Dubs,
Uh,
as he was called by his friends.
F-
yeah, he wrote a book
Dubs
called
and the
Seduction of the
Hizzy.
Innocent, which
What year was Seduction of the Innocent?
54-ish.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
gonna guess.
1950s.
I was gonna guess 52.
Yeah, it was
Post
yeah, 54,
WW2.
April 19th, 1954.
Mm-hmm.
Which postulated that juvenile delinquency is fostered through the reading of comic books. And this was a broad thing. This wasn't just the EC type stuff, but this was attacking everything to Batman because Batman promoted homosexuality because
Did he?
Batman and Robin were clearly homosexuals. Yes.
Wait, what?
Yes.
That was
Are you being
canon
serious?
in the 50s?
Huh? No, it wasn't.
No,
No,
he's being
no. It's what the
They
good
inferred.
doctor had inferred erroneously.
What? Yeah. What does that say about the good doctor?
His methods were questionable. He would splice together different parts of statements to get things from people. He would portray scenes in comics that were not that were not accurate. Like he was talking about decapitation in one superhero book. I don't remember what it was. I read that earlier, but it wasn't actually decapitation. The hero had gotten invisibility potion put on his head or something, and so his head was just invisible in all these shots. And he claimed that as decapitation.
I hate when that happens.
So based out of this, the comic industry responded with the Comic Code Authority, which would be a self-governing body that would basically neuter comics for anything that was not traditional, wholesome.
As a quick side
above
note,
board.
Gentle Fan Club says, Phony Bone inspired me to start a Ponzi scheme in the 6th grade. Excellent.
Delinquency.
Jeff Smith represent.
Jeff Smith. What's he doing?
Making money, making bank.
Somewhere.
Comics code. Ugh. Gross.
So instead of the government or a foreign agency coming together and policing comics, the smart people in the industry of comics in the 50s were like, we'll police ourselves.
And yeah, it was creatively stifling. I think Stan Lee and both DC and Marvel at one point had books that they didn't submit because they wouldn't have been approved. One was I believe the Speedy, doing Speed, issue for DC, and then there was another drug-related one.
Harry
which-
Osborn on
yep.
pills, I believe, right?
And these weren't promoting drugs; these were
Yeah.
anti-drug messages that would not be approved by the code because they portrayed drugs.
Yeah, that's so. But those books were published anyway.
Yep.
Like they
Yes.
just were published
Yep, they
without
just
the
without the
code.
code,
Like
yep.
so, that is interesting. That it's a self-policing thing. That you could still publish things without the comics code.
Which had like a real fast. I don't remember the details from years ago of the end of the code. Was basically one guy like in his basement approving things just to try and keep it going. It was really really weird.
It hung on for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like
What-
a really long
Up through
time.
Quesada's run on as publisher on Marvel. I think that was.
So you're saying early 2000s was
Yeah.
still code?
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
But no one was really. There was. It really just didn't exist. It
Yeah,
was
because of the guy in the basement.
basically yeah.
That's so sad. What?
Yeah.
What? Who are you that you're sitting in the basement
Censoring comic, yeah.
censoring art? Like, get out of here.
Yeah, they had a rating system for a while. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really.
The comics
arbitrary.
code has a rating system.
No.
No, no, no.
Each,
It
each
was-
company.
Each
does
company did their own
now,
rating
It was
system.
it
yeah.
kind of replaced the comics code because they had it for a long time, and then they were just like, well, it had kind of loosened up quite a bit
Yeah.
too, and then they were like, we just have this for
It's basically just stamping a teen label on everything and calling it a day.
yeah.
yeah.
Aaron, what are some of the artists that came out of EC Comics? I feel like there's
Ooh.
a litany of
I
heavy
mean-
hitters. Am I using the word litany correct?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if
I will look it up.
I mean, when you talk about
Don't fact check.
comic artists, I mean, EC probably had the best stable of artists that were concerned with the black and white ink line, whoever did it. EC, like people like, I mean, there's Wally Wood, there's Frank Frazetta, there is
How much
Johnny
stuff did
Craig.
Frank Frazetta do?
He didn't do a ton of stuff, but he was there. He was in the mix. Graham Ingalls, one of my favorite, Ghastly Graham Ingalls. I mean, you put down something. George Evans, and everybody kind of had their own special thing. Like Wally Wood was very good at sci-fi stories.
Do you want to go to the camera for that one?
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, this is another collection. The EC Library, I think Fantagraphics puts these out. And these are in black and white, nice hardcover. Spawn of Mars. So I've been doing a deep dive in all this Wally Wood stuff. And he's got some connection with,
Syracuse.
some Syracuse stuff. I think he worked in Liverpool for a little while.
Um,
I think we learned that from Frank Camuso.
Yes, that was before his death, which I believe he took his own life.
Yes.
One of the last places he was actually working was in the Syracuse area.
But just a beautiful looking artwork in here. Just like very nice work in black and white. I think they do a nice job with the color version on like in this other stuff, like some Johnny Craig stories.
I don't mind the color on that actually. And I feel like
The paper.
it's the paper,
Yeah.
but even the flats, I like the flats.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it takes away from the story at all.
Yeah, you don't want too much rendering on these guys because these guys were working because it was before we had digital coloring and you could really do a lot of modeling with the color like what we can do now. So they're smart to not over model that because it works so well in black and white that if you do color, flat color is the way to go because all the modeling and everything is already done in the inks. Yeah, but Wally Wood, famously known for his sci-fi stuff or his Mad Magazine stuff.
I think that Wally Wood was regarded as EC's best artist and most troubled artist.
Yes.
What was his comment too? That he wished he was born with no hands or
Or
something like that.
no, he's it's pretty dark. He said that if he could do it all over again, he'd cut his hands off.
Yeah.
Because I think he was just compelled to create. I don't know if you know anyone like that, Aaron, but like he.
Oh, don't compare me to Wally Wood.
But yeah, I think he was just obsessed with creating art to the point where like he didn't sleep. Like he would just.
I sleep just fine.
He was constantly drawing. You just told me you were up at 3 a.m. this morning with the baby.
Well, I mean, I fall asleep just fine, but then I have to get up. It's not always
Did
my
you have
choice.
a wife?
Wow.
Yeah, she works hard and she got up before me and I took over.
I don't see that.
We
That's
work
being
it- we
right.
work
She
as a
should've been up
team.
The whole night.
What's that?
She should have been up the whole night. I'm trying to see. If she's on.
Yeah, well, she said she would watch. I don't see any comments in here just yet. But I really like Ghastly.
Oh, there we go.
You did it, Martin.
Hey, don't get me in trouble. Hey, I can't help it. Especially since I've been up so much. But Ghastly Graham Engels, he's a guy that I think as much as I love Wally Wood and I want to study all of that stuff, I think Graham Engels is my favorite guy from EC, just because of how brushy everything is. Like it just has like such lush brushwork, and it's a little off and weird, but I think that's what makes his horror stories work so good. But I mean, there's so many great artists. There's Bernie Craigstein, probably one of the most influential artists who ever came out of EC. Like Frank Miller is hugely influenced by Bernie Craigstein. There's a story called Master Race. Have you guys heard of this? Have you read this?
Yes.
Where you have? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Where a survivor of the Holocaust is kind of just like haunting this former Nazi soldier in another place who's kind of in hiding, and eventually he gets closer and closer to him, and he falls in front of a train. But there's certain techniques and stuff in the execution of the drawing that like have kind of revolutionized like how you could do sequential stories. Like Frank Miller homaged it in Daredevil stuff, and there's so many artists who reference this stuff, and that wasn't the only story he did, but it's certainly like one of the high water marks of EC as a whole. There's also I don't know who did this story, but it was one of the very last stories they did. It was a science fiction story, and the whole story, like an astronaut has to go do something, is on a mission, and at the very last panel, the astronaut takes his helmet off, and it's revealed that he's an African American astronaut. And so at the time, that was very, very progressive and a little.
One of the notes I did read was how progressive that the books actually, like the EC books in general, actually were, especially for the time.
Yeah, and the thing about EC, like in the 1950s, so like TV exists, but it's not like how it is now with all these streaming services and cable and all that stuff. So comics kind of had filled that void for popular culture, and there was no comics code. So you had romance comics, you had sci-fi comics, you had cowboy comics, you had horror comics, you had crime comics.
So many genres, yep.
So like, and all of these procedural shows or like things that are on TV, there was like an analog in comics, and people read them. In fact, more women read comics in the 1950s than men did, as evidenced by your story of the woman who. She would read the romance comics with her friends, like out on the lawn.
Yeah, that was okay. So it was this call back to maybe when I first took over the
It
shop.
was within the first year, yeah.
Woman comes in, older woman. She's downsizing. I'm not sure if she's going to move, but she's cleaning up.
Yeah, she said she had these box of comics that she just moves around all the time. She doesn't enjoy them anymore. Or anything.
Yeah, no, actually, she said she kept some issues for like a keepsake, but also she had like 150 or how much comics were in a small box?
It was 2 small boxes.
It was 3 small boxes.
Oh, it was 3. That's right. Yeah,
because one was all Archie,
and
then there was 2 that were like romance books. But she had this great story of her and her cousins would get like a dime to go to the drugstore, and the 3 of them would all buy 1 comic or whatever, and then they would sit in the backyard on the hammock or something like that, and they would trade the comics back and forth. It was such a beautiful little story. But yeah, she was probably a 10-year-old girl, a 12-year-old girl who was into romance comics, and that went away for a long period of time. That like. Name a romance comic from the 70s or 80s. Maybe there's 1 or 2, but
2000s there was Trouble.
What was that one?
That was
boy.
That was Marvel's attempt to reignite the romance genre by making Aunt May into a very interesting character who enjoyed having the fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the revival of romance comics now is manga.
Oh yeah, basically, yeah.
That's who's brought it back, and I mean.
Could I get more lemonade?
Lemonade break, everybody.
Lemonade break. Let's see if we can make this
in total silence. Just pouring that. What a great sound!
Oh,
that's wonderful.
Right on the mic?
Should have done that on the mic.
Reenactment.
Thank you, Martin. I appreciate that. Thank you for the lemonade. Oh,
Perfect,
it does sound good.
Sure.
It does sound good. That's our ASMR.
ASMR. We're just gonna have whole ASMR segments. Now, like I'll just put the mic down here. If I'm drawing, we'll just get like.
All right, we're officially off track.
Yes, easy to do.
I don't know.
What a shock.
What else do we know about EC Comics? It was a father thing that turned passed to the son, and the son
Yeah,
kind of took
father
it in the
died, I
weird
think, like
direction.
a boating accident or something.
What was the father's name? I know it's Bill Gaines who took over for him.
Oh gosh, where are my notes?
Get out those notes.
Max Gain.
Max
Max
Gaines.
Max Gaines. That's
Yep.
a character.
Boating accident
Yeah.
in 1947. Then William took over and began to print the more mature stories, delving into genres like horror, war.
I wonder if
Crime.
Max Gaines is into powerlifting.
We had a powerlifter here today.
Oh yeah.
We did. There's a powerlifting
Russ
competition.
Daniels' brother.
Zach?
Yes, thank you.
Oh wow. I haven't seen him in years.
He's in town.
And he's powerlifting in Syracuse
wild.
tomorrow or Saturday. Oh, I'm gonna burp again. The pink lemonade's giving me the
It's weird.
burps.
The book or the drink?
Yes.
Okay.
So
You did it.
again, Max owns this, gets on the wrong boat, and then was it the Titanic?
It was not the Titanic.
It was Titanic 2. They're building
it
it. My
was,
student told me today they're building Titanic 2.
Titanic 2 Judgment Day,
Yes.
Titanic 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Starring Leonardo DiCaprio playing triplets.
I don't get that reference.
Jack, Jake, and Jacob.
And Juicy J from 3-6 Mafia.
No.
Okay.
J-Lo.
Yes. J-Lo will be playing Kate Winslet's character in this one.
We're just gonna cut to Martin. We're gonna cut back.
Yeah, we do good things here.
I'm gonna read some artist bios here. The artist of the issue, Harvey Kurtzmann. You ready? Ready? The genial, modest, tireless, hard-working, rapidly rising star of the comic industry was born in Manhattan, New York on October 3rd, 1924. I can tell this voice is going over very well. Shortly thereafter, they moved to Brooklyn and then on to the Bronx. It was there that Harvey's budding talent first received public recognition when every day he would draw an installment of his own original comic strip, Ikey and Mikey. I've lost everybody. On the chalk in the gutter outside his home. We've done some chalk drawings before.
Yes, we have.
Further inspirations make his art career came when he was awarded a ASPCA art contest as one of the annual John Wanamaker
Oh boy.
competitions. Wanamaker.
Yikes.
So Harvey traveled across the Harlem River every day. He swam across the Harlem River every day to attend the High School of Music and Art, where he met Elle Feldstein, Johnny Severin, and Bill Elder. So those are all EC people.
Oh, and what school did they go to? The
High School of Music and Art.
Holy moly. Okay.
Wow, I wish I
okay.
read this beforehand. That's really interesting that they all met in high school. What?
Oh, that means that they were also doing this super young.
EC Harvey's only other formal art education was a 2-year stint at Cooper Union. Cooper Union's a great art school. If I had talent, I would have gone to Cooper Union for art. I felt like I was looking into it in like 10th grade, and I just wasn't good enough.
Me either.
Where else? Where are we? Harvey turned to cartooning, freelance for various comic publishers, creating his own comic strip called Hey Look for one of these publishers, where he met Adele.
The Adele?
The Adele, who she was putting out her album Negative 60, who was a proofreader there. Love and courtship followed, and they were soon married. Good for you. Lock Adele up. Though that is a little young, Negative 60. Harvey also produced a double feature called Silver Linings for the Sunday supplement of the New York Herald Tribune. Double-page cartoon spreads and editorial cartoons also appeared in Varsity, the magazine for the college crowd. It was here that It was here at EC that Harvey was given his first opportunity to show what he could do in the way of straight comic illustration. Straight as a Grizzlies. I lost my spot.
I think it means not comedic, like
Yeah.
like not a
Yes.
funny strip, like a serious book.
His superior work earned him a spot in permanent position of EC's staff, which we had debated. EC didn't have a staff.
Mad did not have a staff.
Okay, so everything
Really, we're not paying attention to what I was saying.
I guess I was thinking EC, but really it was a Mad Magazine conversation we were having.
Well, it's easy to get them confused because EC kind of predates Mad, and Mad's the only survivor really
It
of
is.
the EC line.
Holding on by a thread.
Did things like Two-Fisted Tales, Frontline Combat. Harvey's editing, writing, and covers and layouts brought fresh, new approach to comics, and other publishers quickly began to copy, even trace in many instances, his unique presentation.
Shout out to Greg Land.
Shout out to Greg Land.
Yeah, Greg Lynn's out there tracing Harvey Kurtzman.
Just everybody.
But I don't know if that was interesting. Here, well, let's look at this is
But
this is a Harvey Kurtzman. Let's look at a Harvey Kurtzman on the
Yeah,
on the
Harvey
dock.
Kurtzman is really the brains behind a lot of the EC stuff. He's the one who took like these great renderers like Wally Wood and really worked with them to get them into ship shape for comic storytelling. But what's nice about his stuff, like more cartoony, but you get these great shapes that are in here. That it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Jack Kirby. He's kind of like these big shapes and bold lines. I mean, he's not Jack Kirby, but I see some similarities in terms of the boldness. But good looking stuff. And check this out. Color theory in effect. We got warm colors in the background, cool colors in the foreground, separating those planes using color. The covers at EC are there's a reason they get homaged over and over again, is because they're some of the most intelligently designed comic covers that have ever existed.
I think from our What's in the Box 2 when we actually did look at this cover, because I think we remember discussing how Aaron would react to it.
No, I don't think we did.
Are you sure?
No, maybe we did. I think we did.
I'm pretty sure we did.
It's classic color theory. Like I could use this. I might take a picture of this before we're done here to use in school. Actually,
No pictures.
Okay, fair
No
enough.
flash photography, please.
Well, I wouldn't use a flash. But Harvey Kurtzman. Without him, I'm not sure that we quite get the same EC as we understand it. Then there's Johnny Severin, the penciling half of the Severin and Elder team, was born Christmas night, 1921.
I remember it well.
The newest member of an artistically talented family. At the age of 1, he became interested in art by daubing large blobs of paint on his father's canvases. His mother was proud. His father couldn't be quoted. While attending the High School of Music and Art in New York City, Johnny met Bill Elder, who was to become his present collaborator. After high school, Johnny spent a year as an apprentice machinist. Came the war, he enlisted in the Army. He requested the cavalry and was sent to the Air Corps,
The March of War.
transferred to airborne infantry, and ended up an engineer overseas as a crew chief of a half-track. Johnny saw action in Okinawa, Eniwetok, Guam, Kwajalein,
What kind
and
of action?
Saipan. I hope I said those right. After his discharge, Johnny entered art school under the GI Bill. However, when Johnny found there was a crying need for a good comic artist, he looked up his old pal Bill Elder. They teamed up and proceeded to knock the industry dead. Johnny's hobbies include
Is that
Folks-
good?
And that was the end of the comic industry.
they killed it off for good. Johnny's hobbies included folk songs and Americana, anthropology, and costumes. Bill Elder, the inking half, was born in the Bronx, New York in 1922. His boyhood days consisted of romping through the vacant city lots with a slingshot, BB gun, and practical jokes. After attending elementary and high schools in
He
New York
was
City,
definitely white.
Bill entered the Academy of Design, where he studied life drawing and rendering until Uncle Sam beckoned in 1942.
The
Why,
March.
was something going on?
The March of War.
Bill served 3.5 years in the Corps of Engineers, and of which 2 years were spent in action overseas in the Corps of Engineers, of which 2 were spent in action overseas. He went into France on D-Day +6, moved up through the infamous Hedge Rose, was among the troops that liberated Paris, fought in the Battle of the Bulge, was a member of the shock troops that stormed Cologne, and was among the first troops to cross the Rhine. After returning to his civilian life, he started doing commercial and advertising art. About a year later, he teamed up with Johnny and began his comics work. In due time, Bill fell prey to soft and limpid eyes and married a lovely lass.
I'm
from
glad
New
it was
Jersey.
eyes and not something
I know, I was
else.
kind of curious where that was
Wow,
going.
I haven't read this in advance. New Jersey, named Jean. The Elders presently reside in New Jersey. Bill's hobbies include classical music, photography, and travel. Johnny and Bill joined EC about a year ago, and their work appears in each issue of Frontline Combat and Two-Fisted Tales. The realism that they put into their stories is, as you can see from the above brief histories, a product of their experiences.
Wow.
So these aren't like retro biographies. These are actually biographies from.
This
Back then?
was printed in
Yes.
1952.
Wow. Okay.
Entire contents copyrighted 1951 by Tiny Tot Comics. Frontline Combat, March, April 1952. So this must have been in the Frontline
yeah.
Combat. Do we want to take a look at that cover?
Frontline Combat, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this cover. Oh, yeah, we looked at this one too. Yeah, another Harvey Kurtzman. Right? This has got to be Harvey Kurtzman. Look at these cool colors. Okay, all the cool colors are receding in the background. Title, warm colors. and the enemy fire or the shelling or whatever this is. Warm colors. I mean, it's if you just follow some very simple color theory, you can make some very striking and dynamic images.
We read some of the bios in the back. You want to just look at some of these covers real quick again? I know we looked at some the other day from what's in the box, but I think having an artist with us maybe would be a little bit more
Instead of us
interesting.
saying that purdy.
That's a pretty box you got there. What's a pretty cover? Yeah, we got some like look at these like nice areas of flat color. I mean, there's a reason that these are still highly influential and that you still see stuff that looks like this. I mean, just look at those bold lines and the red and green there. I love to see this overprinting. You guys have probably seen this kind of stuff too, where you can see where there's just black, but you can see where the green and the red are overprinting. I know that that's like not desirable, and like we have technology that can like make it perfect now. But I like seeing that kind of stuff. I don't know about you. What do you think?
I'm indifferent.
You're
Did
indifferent?
you say indifferent? That's okay. We're literally said the same thing at the same time. No, I like it.
Yeah, I like to see that overprinting because it's kind of like screen printing. This is a great cover too.
These are so fun, and I really like the design.
Yes.
Like the striping down the side of the very bold colors, the bold flats. You're right. It's simple flat color too. Like there's not. It's obviously
There's a little bit of modeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little bit of like lighter
Okay.
green around
All
the
right,
edge.
but it's
But
not-
it's like a two-tone.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
cell shading type deal. But they got those. They may have only had limited colors to choose from, but man, they made it sing.
Yeah. What kind of like when you're coloring these? Like what's the? Is it like the what is it CYK or is
CMYK.
It CMYK?
It may. I don't know. I think it was different back then.
Mm-hmm.
That technology may have not been widely used. I could be wrong. They could break it apart into plates. I'm not sure what they did for that. Honestly, they may have done some photography.
So it was definitely
photography.
CMYK. Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely CMYK. We can say that without a doubt. Ooh, look at this. I feel like Mark Silvestri's seen this. I mean, he did like a Wolverine that's very similar to this, actually. Like, look at all those warm colors. All that, even the green of the uniform is very warm. That's a good looking cover.
I like the lettering on these covers too.
Yeah.
Yes.
The lettering is very slick. It's just I feel like that's what lacks in a lot of modern comics is just
Yeah,
it's
modern comic covers are garbage.
um
I've said it.
A lot
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, it's just
they're
it rarely conveys what's going on going to happen in this issue. It's rarely the artist inside the issue now.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one thing that is frustrating. I love the I don't think it's a faux pas to put speech bubbles on a cover. Like I think that does help draw you right into the story.
I mean that's what I love about like the old like Golden Age, Silver Age DC books. Those covers are so great. And even if it's a gimmicky story
Yep.
that like you really want to know what's in there, like did Superman really turn into a monkey as opposed to hey, there's a really beautiful rendered pinup
yeah.
on modern comics that just like it's nice,
Ah.
it's pretty, but
Jack Davis. We haven't talked about Jack Davis yet.
what do you know about Jack Davis?
Can we talk about Jack Davis?
I mean, he's one of the EC artists. He's notable as being very fast. I think he was classified as a Bigfoot artist, kind of like
He was blurry.
no
Out of focus?
No, he would do comedy stuff, but he also did a lot of horror stuff, and then clearly he did some frontline combat as well. Like, look at this red.
Did
in
you
here.
follow that Bigfoot thing at all?
Yeah, is Bigfoot like? Well, just explain that.
I think it's a style that literally means like there's large feet, but I think they do kind of more comedic stuff in a lot of instances. I mean, I have to look it up. I know I spoke with authority on that, but that's the sense that I get
Google
from
that.
it.
I've never heard that term before.
Like a Bigfoot artist.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Oh, this is another Jack Davis. He's
That's nasty.
he's super fast too, and his stuff is really good. He's probably most famous for an image of Frankenstein that he did
Yeah.
for I don't know if it was for Mad Magazine. I think it was maybe for Mad Magazine. Look at this. I can see like Steve Rude or like Mike Allred or even like anime and manga. Like there's a lot because the machinery, like the shiny cell shading in here. Oh, it's Wally Wood. That's a beautiful cover right there.
Where do you see the anime manga?
Just in terms of like the slick vehicles,
Okay.
the slick armor,
The
uniform,
helmet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can see some commonalities there for sure. This is probably my favorite one we've seen so far. Everybody up the bombardment. Here they come. This has got to be. Oh, this is another Wally Wood.
It has to be, right?
Isn't
Look at
this
the
wild?
style. Look at the style difference.
Same
there.
guy.
That doesn't even make sense. And he worked by himself, right? He didn't have. I mean, he probably had a studio assistant doing.
This is earlier on in his career. He did some stuff pre-EC, and he did stuff afterwards. I'm not sure what his studio setup was at the time, but he was widely considered the star of EC Comics.
Well, I think again, like I said, I think he was the best and brightest artist and the most troubled artist. Martin is going to give us a definitive
I've got
declaration.
no answer.
On the Bigfoot artist.
It's just Bigfoot art comes up.
Let's drink some lemonade real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got all
I need some more. Where's that lemonade?
Oh, all right, Martin, we need more lemonade.
We need that lemonade.
I'm just gonna hit
Let's
everything.
pour it right over these books to make the books really sticky.
Right. Let's see what we can do there.
I think that's a mistake.
Oh, we just knocked the camera a little bit. I think it's still fine though.
Uh-oh.
It's fine,
Okay.
it's my
We
camera.
got to
I'm not
make sure to get a good
contributing
recording of this.
I can't see what I'm doing.
Oh yeah,
Get
that's good.
to the bottom. Good to the last drop.
Wow, that was a powerful pour. But pink lemonade.
Oh, it's just
Martin.
me pouring lemonade. It was a
Cheers.
quick- cheers. Cheers.
Oh yeah, I almost did
What a
the
great shot that was.
Salud.
It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
I can't-
Thank you,
Newman's
Martin.
Own.
It tastes just like Newman.
Newman's Own.
All right, we almost done here with. Are we
With
done?
with the covers?
Yeah.
I think we can hand those back to secure them so we don't.
Oh,
get,
we knocked the document camera too. We got to fix that.
Wow, we're just
We knocked the
Oh.
dock.
got a stain on the floor. It's nice. It's pretty.
Ooh, you like that? There's more where that
Carpet
came
is
from.
perfectly fine.
Oh my goodness. Martin, do you want to talk? As we're
No.
watching, do you want to talk Mad Magazine?
I can talk a little bit about Mad Magazine. Yeah.
Because that's the last surviving. That's
the
the last
last- yeah,
surviving EC thing.
Whoever owns the EC properties obviously does licensing with through Dark Horse right now and other sources. But Mad Magazine is the only surviving book. It's been in constant publication and being distributed since I forgot the year now. Since like the 50s.
Was that 52? Was that?
That might have been, yeah.
I don't know
We'll
why
go-
50
we're gonna commit to that.
It's the old 52.
Yeah,
the old 52.
I don't know why that stuck in my head.
But yeah, humor satire magazine. We all know it from our childhoods. Everyone has one, but it was very influential in defining and I don't know what the word I'm looking for in helping to define parody and satire laws.
Yeah.
It was before the Supreme Court for a lot of these issues where it's defining what is acceptable use of parody and satire. But it's been published through DC for many years now, since at least through the 90s.
Are they even doing new content? I thought they weren't doing new content, but flipping through.
They're doing some new content with these reprints.
Have you got that over there? Where did the new
It's
Mad?
underneath your.
Oh, it's
yeah.
underneath this. Yes.
Yeah, they're one of our. Yep. Copy just
70
came in this
years
week.
dumb.
70 years dumb. I feel
Yeah,
like.
so 52. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because coincidentally, my old man will be 70 years dumb next month.
There we go.
We got that tight end. Basil Wolverton, another great Mad Magazine artist. Very unique style. Highly influential in the underground comics.
I don't know that person.
Basil Wolverton? Oh, you definitely have seen his stuff. He has some of the most iconic Mad Magazine covers. Like there's one of like a woman drawn in his style, and it's like "Ain't she a beaut" or something like that. That's like the caption.
But yeah, Mad Magazine pretty much defined the parody of like movies and television pop culture. Subversive at times.
The bathroom,
Ooh.
making fun of the Batman.
I'm glad they're still doing some new content for Mad. I feel like that's.
Somebody understood how wet Robert Pattinson was as the Batman.
Wet Batman.
And look what he's showering the wet Batman in. It's tears. He has a little tear tank on his back.
Oh, Wet Batman.
The wettest of the Batman. Oh, look at that. Oh, my gosh. Mad Magazine. They're so smart. Aquaman is in here in the corner. Where is he? Okay. He's saying, this guy's superhero movie is wetter than mine.
Wow, really wet Batman is taking off as a trend. I think that we've really pushed the button.
We're the front runner.
On wet Batman.
We were there.
We got wet. We got Batman.
That's right. Yes, indeed.
So were these court cases that
Yeah.
were in regards to parody and things like that?
Yeah.
That wasn't really established
beforehand. Yeah. One of the big ones was they had done a sing along with Mad magazine where they had taken popular songs and rewritten the lyrics, kind of like a precursor to what Weird Al actually.
Weird Al, yeah. Which actually Weird Al, oddly enough, Weird Al is in this issue writing the intro.
And yeah, the publishing houses that owned the rights to the song issued a whole bunch of lawsuits against them, and it clearly defined what it was that iambic pentameter is not someone's property. Basically, is what it was. One of the judges' quotes.
Yeah, I don't know how you could say that like we're printing funny lyrics in a magazine that go to the beat of a song, and like they can say we're going to sue you for that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think there was 32 songs, and the initial judge ruled in Mad's favor for 30 of them. 2 of them, the rhyme scheme was too similar with the words they used.
Oh, get out!
So that pushed it further up the into the court systems, and then they overturned that in favor of Mad.
Okay, so total sidebar. Has Star Black been a long-running? Okay, because I don't think I've seen that in 30 years. And I'm like, oh, Star Black.
I love the style of this, where they're using that gray in there for the texture.
Who's drawing that?
Writer Matt DiBartolo, artist Mort Drucker, another famous
Mort Drucker. Okay,
another famous Mad artist, recently deceased, I think, in the last 5 years or so.
All those Mad guys lived to be like 99 years old. It's a weird.
Laughter's the best medicine.
And some of them are still working. Or is Al Jaffe still alive?
I think Al Jaffe passed away in the past couple of years as well. Do you want to Google that? I feel like he died pre-pandemic. I went to the camera to watch Martin Google. I don't know why.
Yeah. Welcome to Martin Kitty's Action Google. Google those terms. And it's like dun 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 dun. He's searching for the answer. But anyway, I love the way this like gray tone is with this like white border with no line on the panel. That just looks so good to me. That mid-century modern. This I feel like you could do this right now, and this would be great. And of course, they've got these classic square boxes. These are so off-putting to me when I first read my first Mad magazine. All these square boxes, but now I kind of love that style too.
Fact check: he is 101 years old and still kicking it. In
No.
some band.
Yeah.
I thought he was on. Gilbert Godfrey before he died. Used to do a great podcast where they'd interview old movie stars and TV stars, but they would also do things like interview old Mad Magazine people. And I thought that they had an Al Jaffe like remembrance episode like right before the pandemic, but maybe they were just talking about the fact that he was 99 years old and this was 3 years ago.
He is the creator of the Fold-In.
So let's talk about the Fold-In.
Love that.
Do you know the Fold-In? There's like no computer assistance or anything like that. He just maps it all out in his mind and puts it on the board. Like, I don't understand how that.
I can't. That's where you take the image and you fold it into each other, and it creates
a second
image.
Is there a Fold-In on the back of this?
I don't see one.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh, that's too bad. That's just one of those weird things that, like, to have the mind to do that or without modern tools, like what? How?
He was still working at Mad in 2019, doing the fold-ins.
Maybe that's what. Maybe he retired from Mad in 2019, and that's why I remember that episode. But it was just fascinating hearing him talk about art. Wet Batman.
And another cool thing about Mad Magazine, and I think in EC Comics too, is that when they were very successful for a time, so Will Gaines would literally take everybody on vacation.
Yeah, I was mentioning that to
Oh
Evan.
yeah, explain that one to me. That was cool.
Yeah, every year there was a Mad, or EC, was it EC or specific? See, now I'm getting confused like Evan. I think it was everybody. They would take these vacations. He would pay for all these if as long as you submitted a certain number of pictures or articles throughout the year, you were eligible to go. This ran for decades. It was like up like through, I think when Gaines died, I think is probably when it kind of passed away. But yeah, the company was known to take very good care of the people who worked for them.
What was the paycheck thing?
Basically, the second the artist submitted the art, they got paid, which
Never happens.
never happens. It's always well after the fact.
Although, our good friend Jonathan Ashline has, at least with me, has been very close to the William Gaines approach.
I finally turned in a piece to him. I finally drew something.
I inspired him.
You did
Actually, I guess I'm supposed to edit it. He didn't like how the hand melted into the building. He wanted more clarity. No one knows what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
Clear it up. That clarity.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
Was there anything else that we had in regards to?
I had
EC?
nothing, so
Okay. Any other EC artists we should be talking about?
I'm sure there's many
there's it sounds
that we're not mentioning. Elle Feldstein wrote a lot of the stuff. I'm not sure if he was doing art. Yeah, writer Elle Feldstein.
it is a real testament to how long this stuff is held up, where we're selling multiple copies of reprints of this stuff to people, and it's a very divergent group of individuals as well.
Yeah, Jack Kamen, George Roussos,
It's a big long Kurtzmann thing here, but
Marie Severin
don't
doing
wanna read
colors
Ooh,
on these Marvel connection. Marie
Yes.
Severin doing colors for EC Comics and then becomes a staffer at Marvel Comics. One of the most beloved artists and staffers at Marvel ever. Also doing some pretty cutting edge stuff on Doctor Strange. I know I did a huge reread of first read of the oldest Doctor Strange stuff in Strange Tales, and her run on doing art for it is excellent. Stands right up there with Steve Ditko. Stands right up there with Gene Colan doing innovative stuff. Johnny Craig, Graham Ingalls. I love Graham Ingalls. His stuff is very cool. Jack Davis.
hey, let's flip through another couple pages and then we'll call it a day here.
So you want to go to?
What one haven't we done yet?
Did you do this one yet?
I don't
I feel
know.
like maybe that was the bottom of the pile.
No, let's just see. Let's just take a quick look. We'll do a quick flip through and then we'll call it a day here. We're almost at it.
Yeah. Hopefully, we didn't botch the facts too much. But moral of the story is
facts don't matter.
Facts don't matter.
Entertainment purposes only.
But
I love who wrote the intro? John
the end
Landis.
pages- Yeah, John Landis.
Like, wow, that's cool. That's how influential I think this stuff is. That they.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All of the horror guys, John Carpenter, David Cronenberg, like anybody you can think of, of course they were reading EC Comics and reading Mad Magazine and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course. Look at these end pages. That's really nice too with those colors.
That's the cover I should have used.
The-
No,
this?
that one, yeah. I could have gotten your head and Evan's.
We could be making out.
And then like my head's like just coming out of the
No,
wishing
it's you and
well.
Evan, and then
It'd
I
be-
guess I'd
it'd
be
be-
the other head.
yeah,
Oh,
it'd
this is Martin.
That'd
Yes,
be me.
that's Martin.
It's coming out of the wishing well. Okay.
Hey, guy. Oh.
Yeah, some good looking stuff in this. I love that classic like 1950s comic line. And there are people who still kind of do their own style, but definitely heavily reference this, like Charles Burns. If you've ever read, oh my goodness, why can't I think of it? Do you know?
Is he the Canadian guy?
He's not. I don't think he's Canadian, but he's a contemporary of like Dan Clowes and.
Did you meet him in Canada?
No, I think you're thinking of Seth and. Why am I blanking on his name? He did Yummy Fur. Chester Brown.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean-
I'm thinking Chester.
I mean,
Brown.
they're kind of contemporaries. They're happening at the same time. It's kind of like
American.
They're up in Canada. Charles Burns.
Yep.
What was the name of his any of his books? Well, I don't know why I'm blanking on his stuff, but his stuff
Well,
is
we got Raw and Black Hole.
yeah. Black Hole is probably like one of the
KO.
biggest one. Well, he did work for Raw magazine, which is Art Spiegelman's magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I was flipping through this. This Lend Me a Hand story was interesting to me. It's about a surgeon and him like trying to reattach his severed hand. That's pretty gruesome.
Sugar Skull.
Like, look at Sugar Skull. Yep. Look at this panel right here with those colors.
Yeah.
That's a really nice use of color. That's maybe the best I've seen in this book.
Is there pink
I
and
feel like
purple?
Chris Claremont must have wrote for EC because there's a lot
I
of
know.
dialogue in these things.
Is it true that mostly they issued the pages already laid out with the writing, and they were just had to
Oh, I don't know about that.
fill in, and some of the artists would cut it up on purpose. I think that's true. Let's just say it's true.
I mean, I think that could make sense with how text heavy they are. That maybe you're just sending it you're getting the letters on the board first, and then as opposed to you're penciling it, sending it off to the letter, and then sending it back.
Well, they did. I think this is called letter set type, where it's these very rigid like set of type that all the letters are the same, and they kind of like punch them in and put them down first. And you can get this typeface or one that's very similar called Squatrant. I believe it's free out on the internet, and it's got a good bold look to it. It's got a good bounce to it. It's not a bad little typeface.
Do we? How does the quality and match up to stuff from DC and Marvel at that time? Like, is it of the same quality?
Of like Timely and stuff? I think
Yeah.
EC was the most successful publisher before Comics Code, and then Comics Code killed them.
like a mob hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
talk about the mob connections to.
So part of the reasoning behind why there were the congressional and Senate hearings over the comics pre-code was one of the senators was heavily against organized crime, and comics a lot of times back then did have some weird mob connection through
the newsstands.
Yep. So that made them more eager to get involved.
I was thinking publishing. No, the newsstands.
Yeah.
That's where
Yep.
that's where you're getting your cut of the and the mob's coming in. Oh,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Because was it Untold Tales of Marvel Untold Tale of Marvel Comics? Was that the book? There?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, they hinted at that at the beginning, where it was some bad things happening if you didn't work with the mob to get your books out.
The newsstand. That makes so much sense because I feel like that could be very loosey goosey. And yeah, you could have a guy come and just shake you down for like, hey, I'm here for
Yep.
my $20, and that's coming from the cut of whatever you sold.
Tony
this week.
Soprano's granddad
Yeah.
coming after you.
And that's well, I don't know when that exactly ended, the mob on the newsstand, but I think that's another reason that the direct market was successful, is that it didn't have any of that. And I'm just speculating now.
Dude, we should start a mob, like a crime family, and then we can shake down.
He's just joking. This is satire.
I don't even know.
Parody.
Who would we shake down? Which was not even
Stewards.
newsstands doesn't exist anymore.
Just shake down
Just go
Stewards.
shake down Stewards. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm there for it.
Like, these are some nice day old hot dogs. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to them.
Oh, this is good. That's how I'm.
looking Graham Angles.
That's a whole different revenue stream I've never considered.
Really? The
stealing.
only television show that I know you've ever watched in your entire life is The Sopranos, and you can tell me that you've
This
never
is
thought
very
about
true.
organized
I've
crime.
never thought of organized crime, but it's the thing that I watch.
I thought it was just for entertainment purposes. It's a lifestyle choice.
Oh boy. Well, fellas, another lemonade.
Lemonade.
Cheers, Martin. Cheers.
Salut.
Pink. We're celebrating pink lemonade this week. Let's throw that on the doc cam real quick.
Pink lemonade. Get it today at the Osugo Comic Shop.
While it's hot. Wait.
112 East Bridge Street.
The Comic Shop.
The comic shop.
Congrats again to Nick Cognetti, friend of the shop, for getting his book published by Ani Press. It's going to be a 6-issue miniseries. First issue came out this past Wednesday. Pick it up at El Chapo Trap House. Myself, Martin, we're here all week, kind of. Sadly.
I'm free.
Send help.
And then what else?
Go to a middle school.
EC Comics. Buy your EC reprints. Oh, let's get those on camera again. Those are $19.99 at.
That is a steal. For like the
Perfect time of
artwork
year for it, too.
Yeah, the art that you get in here and the variety of artists and the short stories. And what's wonderful about EC too is that they are short stories. Like, you can sit down and read one of them, you can read two of them, you can read three of them. If you only have time,
4.
you can read 4. You can read 4, but if you want to just
three
read,
and a half
if you want to
for
just
Evan.
read one, it's easy
Can we
to get
skip
through.
around?
I know people are
Can we
busy.
skip around?
No.
You can skip around, absolutely.
Is
It's
this
an
good for
anthology.
bedtime with the kids?
I'm sorry.
Good for bedtime with the kids?
It depends on the kid. You know, maybe if they're like 6 and older, they'd probably be fine. Because they're not too crazy and lurid, but you got to know the kid.
Wrong. Not code approved, sir.
Well, I mean, compared
Kinda
to
hippy dippy
compared to what
person
exists
are you?
today. I don't think I'm very hippy dippy at all, actually. I don't ascribe to that.
Hipster
too much.
dippy?
Maybe.
All right.
I do like some
Dippy?
blog house music,
What's Bloghouse?
like 2008 to like 2014.
Was that just when you were
Some sick
blogging?
remixes. Yeah, thereabouts.
Bloghouse. Another term we've learned. Oh, more lemonade.
There's so much lemonade. You just gotta savor it.
You can really
Well,
taste the pink too.
We should drink
Looks like,
6 cups
so
of
Nick,
lemonade.
Gentile has been corrupted.
I don't know.
We've turned him to the dark side.
Mm.
The
That was
Twitch side.
the Twitch podcast convert now. Well,
I think that's it.
it's 7:01 p.m. on this September 29th, 2022.
We're in the future.
We have now looked at several EC comics are available now at the comic shop, 112 East Bridge Street.
The comic shop.
Come on down and get some of those. $20. $20 for a full color EC book reprint. Excellent stuff.
Excellent stuff.
It is good stuff. And Pink Lemonade's down here too.
Pink lemonade.
Nick
I mean-
Cognetti.
It's both sweet and tart.
Yes. I like a sweet tart.
Or lemonade.
Or lemonade, you're right about that.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's so much more to talk about with EC and Pink Lemonade, but it's gonna have to wait for another day.
I think we're all I'm just tired.
Me too. I was up at 3, so I'm very tired.
All right.
But thanks for tuning in. You've been listening to The Comic Shop Does a Podcast with me, Aaron Z. Lee, a.k.a. Alfred E. Newman.
I'm Evan Coy, victim of Wendy's. Wendy's screwed me today, and I'm not going to stand for it.
They screwed him hard.
Are you going to explain?
No. And Martin, our very special guest,
That's me, but I can't read what my name is. 'cause
Comic
it's not on my
Code
screen
Authority
yet. Thank
approved.
You. I forgot.
Martin
Comic
Kelly.
Code Authority approved.
I like having that display next to him. That looks real good.
The lemonade?
He's like ready to sell on QVC. He's got the Newman Zone. He's got the book. He's ready to go.
Oh, gosh.
He better get a cut of those sales.
Well, I just skimmed from the register.
All right. Seems
Oh.
fair.
Why were you a victim of Wendy's? All right.
You can do it.
Check
you
out
gonna
my
go for it?
Facebook page.
We haven't gotten Wendy's in forever. Bad experiences at Wendy's lately.
Oh, no. That's so sad.
Went and got our food. I drove there, picked it up.
In his car.
So I have this thing. All right, this is going to be a whole stupid thing. Martin likes the Coke. It's a Coke freestyle machine. He likes the Coke with lime.
so delicious.
Coke with lime.
Lime.
But you have to, I repeat it like 10 times to the person at the window because he always gets a Coke. They always just give him a Coke. And so I go, can I get this combo with the Coke with lime? And they go, okay. And I said, the Coke with lime, right? Yes.
Yes, they lie.
Go to pick up at the window. And I ordered an unsweetened iced tea.
No sugar.
And she goes, here's your sweet tea. And I go, I didn't order a sweet tea. I ordered an unsweetened iced tea. She goes, oh, then this is it.
Is it?
And I go, okay. And then she hands me, she goes, this is the Coke. And I say, the Coke with lime. And she goes, yes, this is Coke with... She didn't say it. She just says, yes. Liar. Get back here. I unpack our food because we're going to eat.
All the food.
And not all the food. Because I go, Martin, take your drink, see if it's the right thing. Of course it's not, which I would have just let go. But then I take everything. We also ordered 2 small... This is the podcast now, me talking about Wendy's for lunch. We also ordered 2 small chilies with cheese.
Because we like cheese.
We do like cheese. And I unpack everything, and Martin's got the wrong drink, and then he goes, did you get the chili? And I went, no. And they didn't give me a receipt, and they didn't give us straws.
Chili, no restraint. No straw.
So
no lime.
No,
I drove back,
restraints.
and I don't normally get like heated or anything, but I held my ground. I was like, I kind of walked in the door. I think they knew I was pissed. Karen alert. And I know I did customer service for forever. Like, I'm very understanding. But I'm like, hey, I told your girl at the window, your young woman at the window 3 times, Coke with lime. She hands me and says it's a Coke. And then it's obviously, and I said it's a Coke with lime. I just said Coke with lime 400 times today. And you know, she handed me a Coke, not a Coke with lime. I also didn't get her 2 small chilies with cheese, and I didn't get a receipt, so I can't prove that I bought this. But I was here 10 minutes ago, and
Would you like a Frosty?
and yes, so to their credit, the man and the young man and the woman behind the counter were very apologetic.
Late 20s.
Probably was late 20s. She was a little older. The woman went to get me the chili with cheese. The guy was very apologetic. And then he kept saying, "Coke." He goes, "The Coke, is it a Diet Coke?" And I'm like, "Coke with lime." But he's like, "No, but is it a diet?" And I was like, "Just Coke with lime, like regular Coke with like." Please, I'm begging you. I've said Coke with lime 400 times in the past 20 minutes.
Sobbing on the floor.
So he gets me the drink, and he's like, "Can I get you a Frosty or anything?" I was like, "No, I just want the food that I paid for." And then the woman comes back, putting the cheese and the chili. She goes, "Can I get you a Frosty or something?" Like, "No, I just want the food that I paid for." Then she goes, "Can I get you a Frosty or something?" Which must be there. If they screw up, that must be what they're told to do, is offer somebody a Frosty. And I said, "No, that's okay. Like, I appreciate that you fixed the problem, and I appreciate your attitude, like, because they were very positive." And then
Threw a Frosty at her.
and then I went and grabbed, because they don't have vanilla Frosties anymore. I don't want a chocolate Frosty.
They don't have vanilla Frosties? Are you
It's
kidding?
chocolate and strawberry. Yeah. So
What is this monstrosity?
so and then as I leave, I grab 2 straws and I go, I didn't get straws either, and I left. And they were they were very nice. They were very whatever. They tried to fix the problem.
No Christmas cards.
I don't think we're gonna do Wendy's for a little while.
They're dead to us.
So that was. Also, I found out in the same visit that Dave Thomas actually put me up for adoption as a child. So I'm a little traumatized by that as well.
Foster child.
Yeah.
System.
In other fast food grievances, Taco Bell actually redeemed themselves, but it was Teresa who ordered the food. I ordered a number 6, and I just wanted the soft chicken.
Welcome back to Fast Food Talk with the Comic Shop.
Fast food grievances. Only complaints here. Off to Popeye. Only. Wait, Teresa, you going to Popeyes?
Uh-oh.
Without me?
I don't think. I think that's.
Off to Popeyes to go. Anyway, we were going to a wedding. We're driving all over the place, and it's basically like NASCAR pit crew type stuff, where it's like we can only stop for so many minutes, so we got to eat what we got. And I get a number 6 with the soft chicken taco. Just convert that beef matter or whatever it is, the pink slime. Convert that to chicken.
White slime.
Convert that to chicken. That was held in a teeny tiny cage and fed GMO.
So many antibiotics.
And put that into the soft chicken taco. So they did the soft chicken taco, but they converted the chicken chalupas to pink slime chalupas. And I did not have time to argue it, so I ate them. And it was
Just eat it.
it was mostly fine.
Shove it in your mouth. and
But
eat it.
Teresa ordered Taco Bell for us for dinner last night. The correct order was there, and an abundance of hot sauce was in the bag.
Those
So
pack-
You guys eat a lot of Taco Bell.
who does?
You guys.
You know, it's not the worst thing you can have, and it's easy to ration. Not that I do the points
Ration?
anymore.
Oh, okay. Points,
So
yeah.
we know where all of the expired Taco Bell sauce packets went to. They went to the Lee household. Shout out to my cousin Scotty Tots in the chat. He said the Frosty should only ever been chocolate. Wait, what? I should have read this first before. No,
disagree.
That's
That's
vanilla,
a hard disagree.
Vanilla, thank you. And then Desuri says at least it wasn't Stewart's. Yep, at least it wasn't Stewart's. All right, ready? We're gonna go to the document camera real quick. This is let's go.
Oh, that's wrong.
There's 3 more bags back there.
Oh, we haven't gone to Taco Bell in forever.
Those are probably all expired.
This is how you end a show right here. Is this a podcast? What is this?
Nick Gentile, Tully's is the apex predator of fast food. Shout out to Tully's. Tully's has been very good.
I agree.
Yes,
agree.
half of your clogged arteries owe their soon-to-be non-existence to Tully's.
They just need to get better audio at their drive-through. I feel like I have to shout at them.
Yes,
And I don't want to shout at them.
That's why we send Joe.
we do. We send when Joe, because Joe works at the college. So
Yes, I
on
know.
Fridays when he comes to Friday Night Magic, sometimes we will message him and say tendies, and then he will bring me tendies and lemonade because I like the lemonade.
Is it pink?
No, it's just regular.
Well, I brought
I
you
should
pink
ask if they
lemonade.
have pink lemonade.
They might have it.
Wouldn't it be great if he came back with the comic? with the Tully's variant cover?
Ooh, wow. I love the variant covers for all things. I like this case now with just full of
All
hot
right.
sauce.
All right,
Nah,
bye everybody.
I think we've totally
Yeah,
derailed.
this
is good.
This has been fast food grievances with your
and
hosts.
accolades. There were some accolades.
With your hosts, Evan, Aaron, and Martin.
Special guest star.
Special guest star, Martin Kinney.
Was this a podcast?
Have a good night,
Some
everybody.
say so, yes.